Okay, Rich, what are we playing this week then?
So this week I thought we'd play Frogger for the Atari 2600. So this was a big game back in the day, one of the sort of classic arcade games. It was ported to the Atari in 1982 from a 1981 game, and this was sort of the game that really made Konami. So they'd had some hits earlier with games like Scramble, but this sort of blew away all their previous offerings and became somewhat of a worldwide phenomenon. Have you got any experience with the game at all?
Well, everybody's played Frogger, haven't they?
Want to get to it?
Let's go for it.
So I think everybody sort of knows how to play Frogger. You just navigate around these cars. You've got to get to those blue sections at the top, which I think are supposed to represent lily pads or something. I'm not entirely sure.
They look like inlets to them.
Yeah, they're just inlets really, aren't they? So obviously you avoid these cars on the road, and you've got to jump across these logs, and I think those are supposed to be tortoises, but they're just basically red blobs in this version. And the tortoises actually they go underwater.
Oh, squished.
So you got to be careful on the. They would be turtles anyway, wouldn't they? Because tortoises are in the desert. So and these red blobs here are supposed to sort of represent turtles, I think. Last one, and then it's on to the next level and a slightly higher difficulty. And that's basically the game, really. Oh god, it is a lot faster, isn't it? And like I said, this was quite a massive game at the time as well, and I think they actually spent more on the marketing budget for this Atari version of this game than they did on a lot of movie budgets back in the day. So it's millions of dollars.
Damn. Oh.
Pushed forward one too many times. Could be the end coming up now. That snake is a bastard.
That bastard snake.
Bastard in snake.
Uh-oh, snakey snake.
Does he just turn up when it wraps around them?
Yeah, on and off. He's on that one, but not on the next one.
On the one I just missed, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how I died there. I just fell off the damn thing.
Look, you can't stay on too long.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh, I can rap.
I want to hear some of your rapping.
You really don't. Trust me. Bloody blue cars. I knew I was going to get squished by a blue car. I couldn't find a route through.
Apparently there was actually two versions of Frogger made for the Atari 2600 as well, because the Atari actually had this add-on called the Supercharger. What this add-on would do is it would increase the amount of memory in the Atari, and it would also allow it to load games from tape. So there was a version of Frogger that was made specifically for this add-on, and apparently actually it's better than this version. Apparently it's people do prefer it, but I've never actually played that version of the game, so I couldn't say. Obviously I've never even seen one of these Superchargers before, let alone own one. But this does a reasonable job of representing Frogger, really, doesn't it, I think?
Very solid.
Oh, and we forgot to mention actually, this game was given to us by one of Chris's friends. He gave us a bunch of Atari games, a whole bag full of them, didn't he?
Yeah, he really did. For absolutely nothing. Good guy. Oh, I pressed up and it didn't register. So I pressed up again and I was too late.
I think Konami actually tried to sort of make a mascot out of Frogger as well, really, over the years.
Really?
Well, they tried to sort of bring him back during the PlayStation 1 era. There was a lot of PlayStation 1 Frogger games.
Okay.
And they had like, they was like scrolling fields sort of thing. Scrolling play fields. I was too close to the green section. I did Chris. And they had like
action adventure sort of Frogger games and such, like 3D ones. I don't know if any of them really went anywhere though.
Well, really, what more can you do with Frogger?
I was thinking actually that you could sort of try and make a Frogger Zelda type game, you know, like Link to the Past, but with Frogger. Do you reckon? Oh, I nearly jumped into a crocodile's mouth there. You see what I mean? Where you've got this massive field where you're bouncing around and you've got to go across these logs, and then you might get a power up that makes your tongue go further or something, so you can attack them.
No.
Or like, you
How
know.
can you... Frog, yeah, a frog using his tongue to attack a car. Or a snake.
Well, you know.
Or a crocodile. You're really stretching the bounds of poetic license there, aren't you?
Well, maybe you get like a magic item that allows you to breathe fire or something, you know.
A fire-breathing frog.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea to me.
Sounds legit. Yeah, so if any of you big game developers are listening out there, pitching you a story for a game right here.
The Legend of Frogger.
Yeah.
That was bad. I was thinking of terrible puns and it was distracting me. The ribbit of time or something.
Ribbit of time. Oh.
You could have him like ribbiting, like, you know, each ribbit sound
Stop it.
is on a different button. So you're like...
So like Ocarina.
What do you reckon? Good idea.
I think it's been done, mate.
I'm not actually doing that well this time, am I?
Oh, you're not doing that bad either. I lost one life. Because for some reason you got an extra life even though I had 1400 points and didn't get an extra life.
You had piles of extra lives. You get thrown away all the time.
Balls! I didn't walk into any snakes.
I think they gave you more lives than me.
My arse! Oh,
Did you even get up to this level?
fuck off. I got past this level, you bitch. Your timer's not running down that fast. Mine did.
You were differing around all the
My
time.
arse! You're so full of crap.
So my first go will be the best one in the end, won't it?
You got no. Your first go was 2108, so you're quite close.
Oh, blast. And that's the end of me.
Okay, Rich, what do you think of the game?
Well, it is somewhat of a classic, especially in the arcades. This was sort of a classic game of the era. Nice concept, really, isn't it? Quite simple, like a lot of these sorts of games. But it just works well, doesn't it? It's sort of constantly dodging all this oncoming traffic. It's more interesting as there's more elements and faster speed going on there. Graphically for an Atari game, it's not bad, really.
Yeah, it's just Atari basic, isn't it?
This is 1982 though, so Activision especially were doing some sort of phenomenal graphics for this time period, like Pitfall. But all in all, it is a very good game. It's easy to see how it would become as popular as it was on the Atari as well. So what do you reckon about the game?
Well, its genius is in its simplicity, really, isn't it? It's such an easy game just to pick up and go that anybody of any age is going to be able to play this and enjoy it. So that's why it really done so well in the arcades and done so well on console as well. I mean, I could sit here and play this for ages and not get bored or anything, just try and beat my top score. My kids could do the same. I'm sure I could hand this to my 5-year-old and she would have a whale of a time with it. So, you know, it sings to all ages. Graphically, it's okay. It's an Atari game. What do you want? Musically, again, it's an Atari game. What do you want?
Yeah, a
but,
little tune at the beginning. Not
yeah,
too bad, really,
quite
is it?
Nice, you know.
No in-game music, but that's sort of normal.
But it's
as
got
well.
the sound effects as well. And the gameplay is actually really, really quite compulsive, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
It makes
it
you
is.
want to keep coming back to
It's
it.
somewhat an addictive game.
Yeah, definitely. So
The only thing is, it's sort of annoying because you want to get back to the later levels, you know, and you have to restart and you're on like the slow level again.
it just makes you get good, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But no, all in all, very enjoyable game. You can see why it's done so well. Okay, so what are you going to score it then?
Well, I've thought about it quite a bit, and I think that the arcade version is a phenomenal game. The year that it took to come out on Atari, there was some progress made in the industry in general. Like I said, Activision's games were quite notable during this time. They'd sort of pushed things forward. But also you've got the Spectrum and the Commodore just starting to come out as well around this sort of period. And they've got slightly more advanced games coming, you know. So with that in mind, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 and say that it's a high 4 out of 5. And it was quite a difficult decision for me to make, but I feel like by this stage, it's slightly lost its sheen slightly, you know. And it was available on virtually everything. And like I said, also, there was actually a better version of the game released on the Atari as well with the add-on, you know. So this wasn't the best version of Frogger either for that time period. So what are you going to score it then?
Well, this is extremely easy for me because it's Frogger at the end of the day. It's a cult classic. People grew up with it in the arcades and in home. It just brought forth a whole new generation of gamers.
Yeah.
So I really do think it's a 5 out of 5 game. It's just Frogger.
Yeah.
You can't score it any
more
less.
fun with this than any of the other Atari games?
Oh,
played
definitely.
So far?
This is by far the most fun I've had on an Atari.
Yeah.
By far.
Well,
long way.
Can't argue with that then, can you?
Definitely not. So 5 out of 5 for me. Okay, guys, that was Frogger for this week. Absolute cult classic.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game, especially in the arcades. But I mean, this is a great version of the game as well, really.
Yeah, it really is. So, guys, tell us what you think. Give us a comment. Like the video, it always helps us. And subscribe to the channel because we're always releasing great new content like this. And we will see you next week with another game, guys. Take care.
See ya.